Hey everybody, thanks for tuning back into Concrete with the Hosses. I just left the guys on that floor. Came through a tight squeeze right there, but I am inside this basement floor now, and I'm going to start knocking down all of these high spots. So I'd like to get some gravel on top of this pipe. So I'm just going to skim it off the floor right there. We're a little bit high. I'll dust it on top of the plumbing, and then I'll pull this dirt and rock on top of here. Now the nice thing about this dirt and rock, there's only a couple of rocks in it. It's mainly dirt and gravel mixture that I can use for backfilling here. I won't need to haul this out, and actually I can't. I can make it through this opening, you know, 1 or 2 times, and I'm knocking that header out. I don't want to damage my lights up there, but it was a tight squeeze. So I'll go ahead and set the camera up and get some footage on that. So I got it almost down to height. This is good right in here. A little bit high, a little bit high. So I'll shave this down, keep filling and compacting that. I only had to throw 2 buckets out the door, so I just stuck the bucket out, threw it out, and then I'll squeeze out one last time to exit. This over here is pretty good, but I just need some fine tuning yet. Okay, that didn't take too long. We're all graded pretty good. We're down to grade here. I don't have any stone on that, but it's really hard dirt. So we'll cover that over with plastic. And I mean, it's a 5x5, not even a 5x5 area. I really don't want to come through that door anymore, bringing in gravel. So we're going to let that slide. Everything else is stoned in. Whew. Heading up to the garage. All right, up here on this garage, it's 3 9-foot doors with a drain in front of each door. So I'll do 1.5 inch taper up to the wall, then about 1 inch, 1.25 inch taper up, taper down, taper up, taper down, 1.5 inch up to the wall. We'll keep these center peaks just a little bit lower than the wall. Gonna get this pipe covered with stone and start grading. I'm gonna grade this area, then move that junk over to here. Some sort of scaffolding. So I moved all that scaffolding up there out of the way. Just got that corner to do and out front. This is all pretty close. I don't have the tamper with me on the trailer since it's winter time. I just leave it in the shop and bring it out as we need it. So we'll go ahead and tamp this the day of the pour. Today, just prepping. So that's how I'm going to leave it today. It's pretty much up to grade. Once I tamp it, it'll go down a little bit, but I don't mind pouring these, you know, 5 inches thick, especially this time of year. We want it to generate some heat. We want it to have some strength so that if the overdig settles, we have enough concrete and rebar to bridge right across. You can sort of see, it's hard with the floor drains not on there, but my gravel slopes ever so slightly up, 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 all the way across there. So we'll tamp it, fine tune it, and get this ready to pour. I'm guessing, what is today, Monday? Probably this will be Thursday or Friday. We'll come back here and do this one. We have a couple things in front of it. Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Concrete with the Hosses. Easy day today. Piece of cake. Can't get any easier than this. We're going to pour this 3-car garage in and out. We'll be done by 11 o'clock. So this floor is about 21 feet by 33 feet across. 3 floor drains. Rebar grid, what is that? About a 36 by 36 inch grid. We got expansion joint coming. We're going to nail against the wall. We can touch the foam, that's okay. Rebar's all up on chairs. Get some good concrete underneath there. And we have our 1.5 lip step down at each door. 1, 2, 3. Pretty simple. We did the basement the other day. Maybe I'll run down and get some footage of the finish on that. So it's kind of dark in here, but right at the door, what I wanted to show you, the concrete's drying real nice. The zip strips that we put in the floor, we push down in and we trowel right over it. So this is what it looks like just a couple of days afterwards. You can just see ever so slightly just this line in the concrete. That's a zip strip, and in time you'll just see a tiny little hairline crack right there. And that just gives us separation right through the center of the floor. And you probably can't see it because it's dark back there, but we come right off of a corner back there. And that's much better than a nice, or not nice, but a jaggedy crack that just runs randomly anywhere. So we put them off of the corners and then center. Center and corners is where there's the most stress that it wants to crack. So I just wanted to get some final footage of that. I don't believe I've ever showed that in a video before, so that's something new. So mixer's due any minute. I'm going to head back up top. Okay, we might go ahead and put tool cuts in this instead of saw cuts tomorrow. That way nobody has to come out. It's supposed to be raining. So Steve is just doing layout. We want a control cut between the garage doors, between the garage door to the corner. So Steve, you're going to hold that one just a bump to the corner. And then also down the center of the drains, connecting everything. And what we do, we take our floor drains and we turn them on a 45. That way off of each point, we can take a cut, whether it's a saw cut or a tool cut. And our plumber is real good. He lines these up for us every time, and they look perfectly straight every time. So all goes well. We'll get the tool cuts in here today. Then I can work in the shop tomorrow. All right, thrower just got here. This is our driver we get almost every day, Mike. Mike, this is our last scheduled pour. What do you think about it? How's the year been?
It's been a good year, and I'm glad to hear that because I'm ready for a little break.
Okay.
To lay off.
Until the phone rings again. So they just nailed on the expansion joint. Little piece back there yet. This wall is all taken care of. We just have the calcium in the truck. Underway. Time to get my boots on. Okay, just bringing the mixer in, watching up top. The garage isn't real deep, so that looks pretty good. Got about 2 feet up there, Mike. No, it still looks a little low. All the tools are just in place. You see how we put our straight edges in the wall cavities? You don't have to go looking for anything when you need it. We're going to need the 8-footer on the back side, 10-footer front. Everything's right there at your arm's length away. The guys are roaring to go. I always come over and just take a quick look at it as it's coming down. If you need to adjust it, you can just call for a little bit of water. Looks good. We have a ledge going around. Notice how all of our rebar are tight to the wall on that ledge. Anything settles underneath, we'll bridge right across it. Come on over. Keep coming. Couple little lumps, we just pull them aside and break them up. Looks okay. It happens. Tommy just floats it to the line. It's nice working with the same drivers time after time, and you get used to each other, and you know, he's putting the concrete right where we need it. He knows our next move and where we want to go, and he already has the concrete. He just works right around the drain for us. He'll just bring that all the way back, jump in this door, and right on out. This garage is about 12 or 13 yards, so we'll just have this last little square up here to do, and we have number 2 truck out there mixing right now, but I want to stay in here and shoot some of this. Tom's finishing up the wall. Whenever he floats that, he puts it right below the line. You want to see that line when you're done. If you go to it or above it, then you're sort of guessing. So you just want to see that line when you're done. Our expansion joint was nailed to the line, so the driver knows we're going to that height. Watching the door buck. I'll get on deck with a shovel.
Pile it right here. Just don't need a little bit.
Get a nice sized pile there before we jump to the next door. Thank you, Jim. Helping that rebar stay up. Steve is setting the slope from the wall to the drain. These drains we have set at 1.5 inches below the floor height. If there were just 2 drains in here, we'd go 2 inches, but since there's 3, we can lessen that to about 1.5 inches. Now the beam is center on the door, so we know our number down. So we'll just hook on the beam and pull straight down and set our height between the floor drains, a little bit below the wall and a little bit above the drain.
Let's go now.
We okay? Keep it coming. Plenty of room out here. I'm just in a habit of standing here watching, making sure we don't hit the house. Looking good. Okay, number 1 truck is almost done. So Dan's pulling up. We'll go ahead and get him mixing up. Morning, Dan. I'll go ahead and throw your flake in. We're just dumping the flake in the mixer. We're using about a 1.5% today. We'll just wash that in. So Dan's mixing up. That takes about 5 minutes. Mike is finishing up. So once he's finished in that, number 2 comes right in. No time lost. Something worth mentioning, Steve is coming down our high spot in the middle of the floor, and he keeps a straight edge at this high spot. You always point the straight edge towards the drain. And then once you get to the drain, bring this in right across the garage door sill. One more of those. I think you need some right there. While he's there, you're going to lose the angle. Give this a quick scrape. Okay. Cleaning this edge off, and where the straight edge rides on top of this and not on top of concrete on top of that board. Take a little push right here. Good. Yeah. Slow and flat. Jim's bull floating. Notice how the edge of the bull float goes to the edge of the drain. Never center a bull float to center a drain. Picture that as like a funnel. And then once he comes around the drain, he'll overlap that line ever so slightly, keeping that bull float nice and flat. Perfect. So with it being cold, but it's not real cold out, but it's upper 30s. We just hung some plastic over the door. We have a heater going inside, and that'll just contain that heat a little bit and help that concrete set up. I'm going to go ahead and get on, and we're going to put tool cuts in this floor and not saw cuts. So I'll show you how we do that. So that's our heater we have going. It's getting pretty warm in here. You can see a lot of bleed water coming up through the concrete. So I don't want to really touch it until a lot of that's gone. give it a couple more minutes and see about getting on it. So it's warming up pretty nice out here. This is what we want it to look like for our sills. Now this will tighten up and we can just put a nice broom mark on that and then re-edge the front portion of it. So it's almost ready to get on the floor. Okay, all of our tool cuts are in. Floor's a little bit greasy on top, but it's getting tight underneath, so we had to get those in. So nice, now just a nice flat trowel, real flat float, flat, slow trowel. We'll let it get a little bit tighter. So that's what we're looking for. All the joints in, cleaned up, nice and rounded, nice sharp edges, nice and clean. So all we have to do is let that concrete tighten up and trowel right over top of them. All the cuts are in. Stan's taking care of the sills, just a broom, and then a 4-inch edger out front. And we'll take our edger and re-roll this upper edge. We don't want to leave this like that. We'll give that a nice rounded edge on there. Coffee time. It's getting nice and warm out. We're probably pushing 45, maybe even close to 50 degrees right now. So we're almost ready to get on the floor. You can see the difference between I just reached in with a trowel and hit this outer edge. So you can see the difference between this pass and the first pass right there. This is shining up pretty nice. Still just a little bit soft. And back in here, as we get in there further, it gets a little bit wetter. So as you touch this here, pretty hard, that's why I reached in. Let's go over here. So you can see when I touch here how much softer it is. I'm leaving fingerprints, it's sticking to my fingers. So you don't want to get on that yet. Let that tighten up. That's why it's so important to do a nice flat trowel on that first pass. All that cream is sitting there, just getting nice and tight. So just wanted to show you that. One sign you look for when it's time to get on the floor. If the whole floor looked like that over there, we jump on it and get it finished. So we're just going to give it a little bit more time to harden up. We got the heater blown across it, plastics sort of holding some heat in. Sun is really on us now. It's got to be over 50 degrees now. It's really feeling good. Boy, isn't that a beautiful truck, huh? I don't know how he keeps it so clean. Just this outer portion is ready. So Matt jumped on it. He'll just do a quick little loop right here. Tom's reaching in the doors, taking care of that. Still just a little bit soft over there to get on. Just keep chipping away at it. So Matt just opens up that tool joint and trowels right over top of it. Tom's on the other side. Still a little bit soft over there. If he needs me, I'll jump on. inside here is all done. Coming together nice. Okay, so the floor got pretty hard out here, but it was still kind of soft back there. This front shined up real nice. Back looks pretty good too. All of our cuts are in. No need to come out tomorrow to saw cut. That's what I like. All right. Steve's putting up some protection so nobody walks on it. And we are out of here. So that's how we'll leave this. All done here. As always, thanks for tuning in to Concrete with the Hosses. Come on back and see us. We have some pretty exciting projects coming up I think you'll like. So stay tuned, hit that like and subscribe. Tell all your friends, let's keep this channel growing. See you soon.